stateside, and he might be a court reporter or something. The house where they lived and where he ran the country during the war. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
We don't have Mr. Watson in the waiting room.
Okay, we're waiting for Mr. Watson.
Oh, Mr. Watson's here with me, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Very good. Okay, let me see if I understand this, Mr. Book. Mr. Watson's father passed away in 1983, and his mother was named as independent executrix of the estate. She has since passed away. The father's will named two other individuals as successors, and they both passed away. He did, your applicant, Mr. Watson, had a sister, and she passed away in 2014. And so he is applying for successorship and for administration of his mother's estate. It looks like she passed away in 2017. So can you tell me what the reason for the delay is?
Well, Your Honor, we have some tracts of land that need to be moved out of the estate that I don't think my client knew were in existence at the time that that Mom passed away.
Understood. If you just get him to testify to that in just a bit.
Sure will.
All right, so his father's will has already been admitted to probate, so I'm not going to ask him to identify that. I am going to ask you, Mr. Watson, if you'll raise your right hand. I'm going to swear you in both the estate of J.F. Watson and the estate of Loretta Ruth Watson. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in these two causes shall be the truth so help you God?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Watson, I'm going to hold up what purports to be the last will and testament of Loretta Ruth Watson. Do you recognize that as being her will?
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to go back to the signature page and ask you, is that her signature on that document?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, and to your knowledge, after the date she executed this will, which purports to be on November 16th of 2012, did she ever amend it or revoke it?
No, sir. Not to my knowledge.
And I take it that after the date of that will in 2012, that she did not give birth to any children or adopt any children?
No, sir.
Okay. Go right ahead, Mr. Book. And I would note, Mr. Book, I'm going to need you to file a new devisees consent because the devisee's consent still says that it's a copy of the will, and it appears that this is the original.
Yes, Your Honor, and that was a late discovery by my very astute paralegal. If she were on, I'd want to recognize her for her work because I think she turned over about every stone she could find to get that. But we can certainly do that, Your Honor.
That's great. Go right ahead. If you'll go over the proof of death and other facts with him in both those cases.
Certainly. All right, Mr. Watson, can you state your full name for the record, please, sir?
Richard Allen Watson.
Okay, and you are the only surviving child of your father, J.F. Watson. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, as the court has already established, your father left a last will and testament. The date on that was September 23rd, 1960. Is that right?
Yes,
Your mother, Loretta, was appointed as executor on March 10th, 1983. Is that right?
yes, sir.
Okay, as we've previously established, your mother has since passed away, and there are some items remaining in your father's estate that we were not aware of and that need to be dealt with. Is that right?
Yes,
Primarily among those is a handful of tracts of land that we need to dispose of. Is that right?
yes,
Okay, so based on our conversations and consultation, we made the decision that we needed to continue the administration of your father's estate, and also we needed to open the administration of your mother's estate because she's named on some of this property as well. Is that right?
yes,
Okay, very good. As the court previously alluded to, your father, J.F. Watson, and your mother, Loretta, had two children, you and your sister, Michelle. Is that right?
yes,
Your sister, Michelle, passed away December 17th of 2014. Is that right?
yes,
Okay. Now, the wills don't name anybody else to serve as executor besides Mr. and Mrs. Nasser, and they have both passed away now, haven't they?
yes,
Okay. So you are kind of our last man standing on both of these estates. Is that right?
yes,
Okay. So you've asked the court to appoint you as the successor executor on an independent basis of your father's estate. Is that right?
yes,
And asked that you be appointed as executor, independent executor of your mother's estate. Is that right?
yes,
Are you asking that the court allow you to serve on an independent basis in both of these estates?
yes,
Are you asking that the court waive the requirement that you pay to post a bond for serving as administrator executor? Is that right?
yes,
Okay. So I'm going to ask you about your qualifications to serve as executor. Are you over the age of 18?
yes,
Okay. Have you ever been convicted of a felony?
no,
Okay. Have you ever been convicted of anything, say, greater than a traffic ticket?
no,
Okay. Is there anybody within your family or community that might come forward and say that you are guilty of what we call crimes of moral turpitude, fraud, deceit, dishonesty, anything like that?
no,
Have you ever been declared incapacitated by a court or by a doctor?
no,
Okay, very good. As far as you know and believe, the will that we offered for probate on your mom's side is dated November 16th, 2012. Did she ever revoke that will, as far as you know?
as far as I know, no,
Okay, very good. Her will does not name the state of Texas or a charity as a recipient under her will, does it?
no,
Very good.
That's enough.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Everything else contained in those proof of death and other facts is true and correct. If you'll sign your proof of death and other facts before a notary, as well as your oath, your attorney will e-file those with the county clerk's office. When he does that, I'll sign the order appointing you successor and in J.F. Watson's estate and as executor in Loretta Ruth Watson's estate. So, Mr. Book, if you'll get those filed, we'll take care of it as soon as those are e-filed, okay?
I sure will. Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate you making it easy.
All right,
thank you.
then you'll e-file a request. Once I've signed the orders, you'll e-file a request to get his letters for him, okay?
Okay, I sure will. Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right, y'all have a great week. Merry
You
Christmas.
too, sir. Merry Christmas to you.
Bye-bye.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Where's my docket sheet?
over here's mine.
Okay. Ms. Oliver?
Miss Oliver, sir.
Okay.
And I have Colin Morgan here with me.
All right, good morning. So help me to understand. So Ms. Morgan, Thomas A. Morgan and Pauline Morgan, were those your grandparents?
Yes, sir.
And so your father had been appointed as executor over their estate, and your father was a resident of Nevada. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And there exists a continuing necessity for continued administration of your grandmother and grandfather's estates. And let's see. Uh, your grandmother died in what year? Those are old cause numbers.
Mhm.
Yes, they are. She passed away in 1992.
Okay. And your grandfather died in 2021.
No, my father died in
Oh, your
2020.
father died. That's his. Okay, your grandfather died in 1990. No, that's Elizabeth.
1989.
1989. All
Yeah.
right. If I could get you to raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the estate of Thomas A. Morgan and Pauline Morgan shall be the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Okay, it may be a little bit easier since okay, your grandmother's will. Have they both already been admitted to probate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, all right, so I don't even need to get her to prove up the wills. They're already admitted. Go right ahead.
Okay. Ms. Morgan, would you state your name for the record, please?
Colin Elizabeth Morgan.
And you are the granddaughter of Thomas A. Morgan,
Yes,
and he died July 23rd, 1989 in Jefferson County, Texas, correct?
correct.
And on March 12th, 1991, this court admitted to probate his last will and testament and appointed your father, Thomas Lynn Morgan, as independent executor of his estate, correct?
Correct.
And your father died May 27, 2021, correct?
Yes, correct.
And his estate is being administered in Nevada, and he died intestate, correct?
Correct.
You and your brother are the sole legal heirs of your father's estate as determined by the court in Nevada.
Correct.
And you and your brother have agreed that you should be the independent administrator with will annexed of your grandfather's estate because your grandfather died and there was no successor executor named. And so we need to have an administrator with will annexed.
Correct.
And you are qualified to serve and not disqualified from serving. And you've never been convicted of a felony or crime of moral turpitude. Correct? And all the proof that's required has been made. And and you've appointed me, Amy Rose Oliver, to serve as your resident agent in this probate matter, correct?
Correct.
So we're asking the court to appoint you as independent administrator of the last will and testament of your grandfather's will with the will annexed.
Yes.
And issue letters of independent administration to you. And agree that I'll be the resident agent, correct?
Correct.
That's all I have on this case, Your Honor. And then I would offer the same on the estate of Pauline Morgan.
Okay, Ms. Morgan, if your attorney asks you all the same questions that she asked with respect to Mr. Thomas A. Morgan on Pauline Morgan, would those answers all be the same?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you reside at 113 Coventry Circle in Henderson, Nevada, is that correct?
Yes, it is correct.
All righty, and all right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna make arrangements with your attorney to sign the proofs and the oath. She will e-file those with the county clerk's office. When she does that, I'll sign the orders appointing you as successor. And in Mr. Morgan's estate and as administrator in Mrs. Morgan's estate, she'll then be able to order letters, testamentary or of administration for you from the County Clerk's Office. Once I've signed the orders, you have 90 days to file updated inventory, so make sure you cooperate with your attorney in getting those done. But other than that, I hope everything goes well. And if you run into any problems, Ms. Oliver, if you can call Melissa or Mel in my office to try to get those resolved. All
She's
right.
been very helpful, Your Honor.
All right. Y'all have a great week. Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank
A
you.
good holiday. May we be excused?
You may.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more?